6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malhorachi and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President asserts that his government will face the Geneva resolutions without fear. The President pointed out that the local and foreign forces who cannot stand the progress are creating lies and misleading the people. Today marks the Madin full moon Poya Day. All schools in the Western Province will reopen. 40 new political parties have applied for registrations. A total of 91,839 COVID-19 cases have been reported so far. And in news overseas, fresh effort to refloat wedged container ship in the Suez Canal. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa asserted that his government will face the Geneva resolutions without fear and Sri Lanka cannot be subdued by the impact. We are not afraid to face the impact of the Geneva resolutions. It is possible not to succumb to it. We are a free country. We will not fall prey to the power struggle in the Indian Ocean, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said yesterday. He underscored the basic foundation needed to move the country forward has been laid, recognizing and solving the problems that people have been facing for a long time. The government is committed to providing basic amenities to the people. It is the responsibility of the government as well as the officials. Economy of the country will be strengthened in a more effective manner for the country, and solving the problems of the rural people will be given priority. Colombo was developed as a green city in the previous Rajapaksa era. By the year 2030, 70% of the energy need is planned to be generated from renewable sources. Steps have been taken to supply power to the national grid from more than 7,000 solar power systems. The use of chemical fertilizers will be reduced by 25% every year. These are all the projects aimed at conserving the environment as well as strengthening the economy. The President pointed out that local and foreign forces who cannot stand the progress and the mafia groups that support them are creating lies and misleading the people. If we do not see what is being done correctly, the damage done in the last 5 years can happen again. The President made these remarks addressing the inauguration of the 16th Gama Samaga Pilisandara program held at the Derangala Madhya Mahavidyalaya premises in Kirivalkale, North Peterbadara Divisional Secretariat Division in the Matathara district yesterday. Today is Madin Full Moon Poya Day. This Poya Day is significant for Buddhists all over the globe. On a day like this, Prince Siddhartha Gautama, after leaving the royal palace, visited the city of Kimbuvalpura for the first time following his enlightenment. On a day like today, the Buddha, along with the retinue of 20,000 disciples, trekking from Veluvanarame to Kimbuvalpura to meet his father Siddhodana and relatives and friends of the Sakya clan. Princess Yasodhara taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and the ordination of her son Rahula and Prince Nanda were some of the important events that took place on this day. Almost all the temples in the country have organized a number of Sila programs to celebrate the Madin Full Moon Poya Day. SLBC's Poya Day live broadcast is brought from Sri Jananandana Rama Temple in Ragama today. City FM conducts programs from the Mangala Raja Mahaviharya in Serwela. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The ceremony to enshrine the omniscient sacred relics in the Sandhirusaya, the triumphant stupa, will be held today in Anuradhapura under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Sandhiru stupa was built in the ancient capital of Anuradhapura in the vicinity of the historic Royanvelli Saya Dagaba as a symbol of gratitude for the sacrifices made by the war heroes in safeguarding the motherland from terrorism. It is only second in height to Royanvelli Saya. The Sandhiru stupa will be open for devotees to worship in November this year. Education Minister Professor G.L. Pires says that academic activities across all schools in the Western Province will commence tomorrow. Accordingly, students from all grades will return to school from tomorrow, said the minister, adding that the Director General of Health Services has granted permission for the reopening of schools in the Western Province. Further, preschools in the Western Province will also be reopened on Monday. The minister went on to note that health situation has enabled the reopening of schools and therefore private and international schools can open from tomorrow. However, no decision has been made with respect to the private tutories in the country and the situation is being reviewed. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The President asserts that his government will face the Geneva resolutions without fear. The president pointed out that the local and foreign forces who cannot stand the progress are creating lies and misleading the people. Today marks the Madin full moon Poya Day. All schools in the Western Province will reopen. A total of 91,839 COVID-19 cases have been reported so far. And that was the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, according to the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, 278 new COVID-19 cases were reported yesterday. Among the positive cases identified yesterday are 260 associates of the Paliaguda COVID-19 cluster and 18 foreign arrivals. A total of 91,839 COVID cases have been reported and 2,892 infected patients are being treated at hospitals. Another 359 individuals are currently under investigations in hospitals. Sri Lanka reported one death yesterday, raising the total to 559, and 88,388 patients have fully recovered and been discharged from hospitals. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And in Washington this morning, Minister of Lands S.M. Chandrasena says a new mobile service using modern technology will be launched throughout Sri Lanka to expedite and streamline land surveying. He was responding to a suggestion made by the members of the Consultative Committee on Lands. The members said an effective program was needed as land surveying was not being carried out properly. Land Ministry officials who participated in the meeting said that this mobile service will be launched as a pilot project in the Tirapane using the latest technology. The members said BIM Savia lands should be surveyed accurately and deeds should be issued soon. They said that the people living on these lands are having problem even in getting a bank loan. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Fresh effort to refloat wedged container ship in the Suez Canal. Over 90 people have been killed by security forces in Myanmar. NASA says that Apophis asteroid will not hit Earth for 100 years. Those were the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. A fresh effort is underway to refloat a giant container ship blocking Egypt's Suez Canal. Authorities say that 14 tugboats are trying to take advantage of Saturday's high tide, and more will arrive today if the latest attempt fails. The Ever Given became wedged in the canal, one of the world's busiest trade channels, on Tuesday. More than 300 ships are stuck on either side of the blockade, and some had to reroute around Africa. Dozens of people have been killed by security forces in Myanmar on the deadliest day since last month's military takeover of the country. More than 90 deaths, including children, were confirmed by the Assistance Association for Political Prisoners Monitoring Group. They are killing us like birds or chicken, even in our homes, residents told Reuters news agency in the central town of Myangyang. The lethal crackdown came as protesters defied warnings and took to the streets on the annual Armed Forces Day. Earthlings can breathe a sign of relief after U.S. space agency NASA confirmed that the planet was safe from the once-feared asteroid for the next 100 years at least. NASA has deemed Apophis to be one of the most dangerous asteroids to to the Earth after its discovery in the year 2004. Close calls in the year 2029 and 2036 were predicted and later ruled out. A slight threat still remains for the year 2068, but now NASA has dismissed that threat based on the new analysis of the asteroid. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Fresh effort to refloat wedged container ship in the Suez Canal. Over 90 people have been killed by security forces in Myanmar. NASA says that Apophis asteroid will not hit the Earth for the next 100 years. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
In development news, the Cabinet has approved a proposal by the Health Minister to set up Anuradhapura Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Zone in the site where the Datukirula exhibition was held some time ago. A committee of experts has already selected 24 investors after calling for proposals from qualified local investors who showed interest. The selected proposals added up to a cumulative investment of 28.2 billion rupees in setting up pharmaceutical processing facilities in the zone. And that was the development news.
Development News was brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
Moving on to sports news, the Netherlands bounced back from their disappointment against Turkey with victory over Latvia as Stephanie Frankfurt became the first woman referee to a men's World Cup qualifier. The French woman has previously taken charge of men's European club matches. Feyenoord's Steven Bergers and Sevilla's Luc de Jong both scored a match to the Dutch dominated. The game was played in front of 5,000 home fans in the 55,000 capacity Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
In business news, oil prices reversed a sharp sell-off a day earlier to the rise, about 2% last Friday, on mounting fears that could take weeks to dislodge the giant container ship blocking the Suez Canal, which could squeeze supplies of crude and refined products. Prices, however, were still ahead for a third consecutive weekly loss, with the outlook for demand dented by fresh coronavirus lockdowns in Europe. That was the business news, and economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And in economic news, Sri Lanka has produced 22.38 million kilograms of tea in February 2021, up 22% from the year ago, driven by 38% expansion in low-grown industry data shows. Low-grown tea output grew by 3.9 million kilograms to 14.2 million kilograms, accounting for most of the 4.1 million grown seen. In the first 2 months of the year 2021, tea production grew 13.3% to 45.5 million kilograms, up 4,015 million a year ago. That was the economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces NanoSir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island during the evening or night. Heavy falls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, southern, western, central, northwestern and Uva provinces. Showers can be expected in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district during the morning hours too. And that was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces NanoSir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The president asserts that his government will face the Geneva resolution without fear. The president pointed out that the local and foreign forces who cannot stand the progress are creating lies and misleading the people. Today marks the Madin Full Moon Poya Day. All schools in the Western Province will reopen. 40 new political parties have applied for registrations. A total of 91,839 COVID-19 cases have been reported so far. In news overseas, fresh effort to refloat wedged container ship in the Suez Canal. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And now it's back to your Sunday morning host and my good friend Shantima to brighten up your day.